from New York City, it's Wendy Williams. Today, Iyanla Vanzant talks about her hit show and trying to fix Terrell Owens' messy life. Plus, from MasterChef Junior, Kid Chef Alexander Weiss makes Wendy a mouth-watering meal. And all the latest juicy hot topics. Now, here's Wendy.
How you doing? It's good over here at the studio. How are you doing? Listen, Lady Gaga is opening up about her looks, so we'll talk about that in Hot Topics. And then TLC's former manager Pebbles is lashing out at the group about that movie and her portrayal. And Love and Hip Hop star Stevie J owes over $1 million in back child support. Let's talk about it and more. It's time for Hot Topics. I wanted to shout out to my wardrobe stylist, Memsor, because he got me in something that you like it? Yeah! I have to tell you something. You know, I am not the slacks girl. One thing I love about being a woman is I love wearing dresses. And oftentimes I wear what you say is the same dress, different colors every day. But I'm a creature of habit. I'm not into slacks and I can't stand lace. So these pants contain two things I don't like, the slacks and the lace, but I love them. Thank you, Memsor, for making me think outside of the box. Thank you. So, I've got some really exciting news to share. Next Friday, right after the show, I'm flying to Vegas to host the red carpet, host and produce the red carpet for the Soul Train Music Awards. It's a real honor. You know, I've worked red carpets before. For some of you who remember me when I had my Fire show on VH1, I'd get out there on the red carpet. But this time, you know, I'm hosting it, and my production company, Wendy Williams Productions, is producing the red carpet. So I'm very excited about that. And Anthony Anderson, our friend to the show, is actually hosting the awards show inside with all the stars and artists and everybody performing. There are going to be some great performances, too, like Keith Sweat, Jennifer Hudson, Shaka Khan, and so on and so forth. So the awards air, the Soul Train Awards air on BET and Centric December 1st. I can't wait. Can't wait. Yeah. So now, I want to shout out to a good friend of our show, Chanel Jones. She's in Philadelphia at Good Day Philadelphia. Chanel, your tribute to me on Halloween yesterday was ridiculous, and ridiculous is good. Just take a look at her in action.
Here's Wendy.
How you doing? Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Wendy Williams Show. You all look so hot today.
How you doing, Philly? Thank you very much. All right, so you all watched the TLC movie on VH1. Apparently you did, because this movie was the highest rated movie ever on VH1 in the entire history of VH1. So I know everybody watched it. Well, TLC's former manager, Pebbles Reed, remember her portrayal in the movie as like kind of the woman who had shady contracts and stole their money? Well, she's speaking out against the group. Now, when the girls were here on our show, you remember, they said that, you know, there's a grumbling that this might happen, but this is our story and this is our truth, and we're the ones who told the story on VH1. Well, in a statement released to us, Pebbles says that she's furious at the way she was portrayed in the movie, and here's a little bit more of what she says. It's a very lengthy statement, but here I have a little bit for you. She says, the movie contains many false and defamatory statements and scenes about me. Please know that I have never cheated or misled anyone. I have held my peace for 20 years, and it's time the truth comes out. I will be sharing my story in the appropriate venue at the appropriate time. Okay, I can appreciate this. I was around, on the radio at the time that TLC came up, so I do remember very much, although I've never met Pebbles, I remember her involvement in getting these girls signed and also Pebbles winning with not just these girls, but in her career that is dominated by men. So I'm gonna give that to her. Pebbles is definitely a groundbreaking woman. She didn't just stop at singing that "Do You Want to Ride in My Mercedes, Boy?" Remember that song? That was the one song that she made, and then she went on and she married L.A. Reid, but she didn't just lay in the house like a rich lady married to, beautiful rich lady. She actually got out there and she hustled. And so for that, she is to be commended. But Pebbles, the only reputation and I've been around a long time, the only thing that I've ever heard about you regarding your business dealings is that you stole from these girls. So I'm saying, so why are you now wanting to come out and have them, I guess, edit and stop the movie or whatever? The movie already played. Your legacy is already out there. And by the way, when the girls were here on the show, we called you guys at the Pebbles office to ask her, does she want to come on? The day after, we were going to send a jet for you and everything. But we wanted you to come here and we invited you. We wanted you to come the very next day before the movie plays and while the things that are being said about you are fresh on everybody's mind. But now the movie's already played and you only have about 30 seconds before nobody cares about what you have to say. And no, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I hope this is coming out properly because I do respect women who do well in business, but taking their money is all we've ever known about you. And allegedly taking their money. And then the movie's gonna keep replaying and that'll be your legacy. So, and I don't know where the proper venue is, but I invited you once. Are you gonna go talk to Barbara Walters about it? Where are you gonna talk? Anyway, good luck with your quest to get your truth out there. So, the actor Owen Wilson is having a baby in a surprising way. Yeah, well, a Swedish personal trainer friend of his named Caroline is 6 months pregnant with his baby. Friend, not girlfriend. Caroline revealed that they never have had a committed relationship. They're friends, and she says that they're just two close friends who wanted to have a child without the complications of I guess meeting the right person. And no, she's not thinking about starting a relationship with him. And this was a big debate in our Hot Topics meeting, right before the show. And I was the only one, I think, who said, I kind of like this idea. As long as she doesn't look in his eyes and catch feelings, But see, they're not new friends. So if they've ever had the sex, they probably had it back when they first met, which was 2007. See, so enough time has passed where the sex is done. I don't even know if they had the sex to have the baby. Maybe she turkey basted, I don't know. But I like this idea. And so then one of my producers said, well, wouldn't this be complicated for the child to digest? I said, no. What's complicated for children to digest is mommy and daddy fighting like cats and dogs and daddy sleeping on the couch and divorce. Yeah. I don't know anybody in my personal life who's ever, gone to a sperm bank or had a friend be the sperm donor or anything. But I would imagine that that's the way the world is going. As we girls are working so hard and doing so well, we don't really have a lot of time. Yeah. We don't have a lot of time to sit down and get pregnant and have kids, and then by the time we want to do it, we look around and we've scared off all the men because we're so powerful and strong. And so I would imagine that the wave of the future is going to be between sperm banks and also you just call up a friend and you say, hey, come over, I'm ovulating, And I have no problem with that. Anyway, good luck to you all. I'd like to follow this relationship though and find out how it all works out. And then Somebody else expecting a baby. Congratulations to NBA player Tony Parker and his fiancée, Excel. Yeah. Is she wearing a see-through dress? Oh no, it's just that the placement of the darts is in an odd place. Anyway, they're expecting a baby boy. You know, we told you when they first got engaged. They've been engaged for 2 years now. He was married to the actress Eva Longoria for 7 years. They never had any children together, he and Eva. This Excel, she is a French journalist, and you know, he speaks French. And he's still playing basketball, even though his cornea is scratched from the fight between Drake and Chris Brown at the club. And he's still suing for $20,000. Was it 20 million? It was 20 million. Anyway, we have to continue following that story. Wait, no, but no. Anyway, so they're expecting a baby boy, and I wonder how that makes Eva feel. You know, like her ex-husband of 7 years goes on and is so happy and he's engaged, even though it's for 2 years. And sometimes when it's a 2-year engagement, I feel as though the marriage will never happen. I can't figure out the reason for grown people to have such a long engagement. I can't figure out why Jennifer Hudson's still engaged. Like she's been engaged for 150 years. Jen, when are you and your hot fiance going to get married? Really, girl. Anyway, back to Eva and Tony and them. Eva was spotted making out with 2 different guys just last weekend. Well, her ex, Eduardo Cruz, brother to Penelope, and the other, this is a good picture of Eva. Anyway, that's Eduardo, and then she was spotted making out with another guy. Do you think that she did this knowing that Tony is so happy and engaged, and maybe it's bitter boots? He's having a baby, and Eva's 38, and still out there. I guess she wants a relationship. I'm just saying it the way I see it. It's not like she's stroking her independence like, say, Cameron Diaz or something like that, who, she kind of, I think, likes being single. Eva would like to have a lasting relationship. It's tough out here for us girls. Anyway, good luck, Eva. So, Lady Gaga is on the cover of one of my favorite magazines, Glamour. She's posing like the model pose. Can you pose like that? Come on, bring your elbows together. We were practicing this just last week here on the show. Do it, do it. Anyway, inside, she was asked, does she think she's beautiful? She was actually interviewed by our friend Andy Cohen for the article. And inside, she was asked, among other things, do you think you're beautiful? And here's what she said. I'm not conventionally beautiful. I've always been okay with that. I'm not a supermodel. That's not what I do. What I do is music. I like that. And another thing, I don't find her to be a classic beauty, but she's far from being unattractive. And sometimes being an unconventional beauty is the best kind of beauty. When you keep that flaw, like the gap in your teeth, or a giant nose, or a pushback forehead, or something like that. Come on, you guys. I can never just be grown up here. You always have to pull me back to being stupid and kiddie-like. But you know what I'm saying. Unconventional beauty is good. And Gaga also says that she doesn't like when people call her Stephanie. I mean, see, her real name is Stephanie Germanato or something like that. Germanato. But if I saw her in the street, I would call her Gaga. And if she came here, I would call her Gaga. It's like I call Queen Latifah Queen. I don't call her Dana. And I know Latifah a lot longer. I don't even know Gaga. I don't know whether Latifah would mind me calling her Dana, but I call her Queen. I still call Puffy Puffy. I will not call him Diddy Doody, because that is not, I will not call him that. And I will not call Snoop Lion. I just don't change your name in the middle of us knowing each other, because I'm not good with that. Although I have to admit, I guess I'm a little bit hypocritical in that I like being called my real name, and I give points to people who do that. Like, if I'm out and I see somebody, under 25 because I feel as though if you're under 25, you're supposed to address a grown woman at 50, Mr., Mrs., or Miss. So if I'm in the mall and I'm strolling along and I hear somebody say, "Hi, Mrs. Hunter," I say, "Hi!" I love that, Mrs. Hunter. I love that. Anyway, so that's Gaga in Glamour magazine, and now let's move on to Stevie J at Love and Hip Hop. All right. Now, first, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Stevie J is the villain. Stevie J allegedly owes over $1 million. That's not the picture I want to use. Come on, show me Stevie J. Yes! Stevie, there are so many people, guys and girls, on this staff that think that you are so hot. Oh yeah, he's like a sex symbol here at Wendy. Anyway, anyway, Stevie allegedly owes, though, over $1 million in child support to his ex-girlfriend, Carol Bennett, the mother of 2 of his 5 kids. No, you can laugh. Laugh like you mean it. I mean, it is a bit ridiculous. I don't understand how people get behind in child support up to 6 figures, much less 7 figures. Okay, he still owes back payments for child support from 1999. The 90s were some of his best earning years. What were you doing, son? Okay, look. Do you understand that in most states, when you owe back child support, first of all, he faces 4 years of jail time. That's number 1. No, this is very serious. That's number 1. Number 2, you know, when you owe child support, excuse me, they take your license away in a lot of states. I know here in New York State, they take your license, which means you can't even drive up the street. Furthermore, they take your passport, so now you can't go to Europe. So and fourth of all, when you owe child support and people know that you owe this much child support, and as a woman and as women, and I think as mothers, I don't know whether you're like me, maybe you're not, but I'm this girl right here. Here I am. At the parking light, the red light, right? I look over and I see Stevie J behind the wheel of is that Stevie J? That is Stevie J driving. 911, get him. Yep. I mean, it's criminal. It's criminal to owe so much money in back child support. And from 1999, really? And my thought for men who are bad with their child support, more often than not, is you're trying to make the baby's mother, you're trying to punish the baby's mother because you made maybe a bad choice in a baby's mother. So, but in actuality, what you're doing is you're taking food out of your kids' mouths. Because, you know, men are always so concerned that we're going to buy a Gucci bag with whatever child support money is left over. And even if we do, so what? The kids are fed, the kids are clean, so what? And this Carol, I don't know too much about Carol Bennett other than she's apparently a very smart woman. She's somewhere around his age. I mean, he's like 40, she's like 40. She used to be an executive at Bad Boy Records. And this is how, in my mind, I imagine how it was. You know how when you're a working woman and you got your own thing and sometimes you just don't even want to ask the man for it. You just rather, you know, you're working, you can do it yourself. She might have seen her best days, her best earning days, and they're behind her. And so now she hasn't asked him maybe or bothered him for the child support or taken him to court. And so now she's looking, you know, at maybe the front door of 40 and, you know, you get a little bit older and, you know, you start to count your money and say, you know what? I need to go after my money now from him. He does owe us money. It's worth the headache. I don't know, but Stevie, somebody is going to arrest you and put you in jail for 4 years unless you can get this money together and pay for your kids. And Jocelyn, my beautiful Puerto Rican princess, the co-star of Atlanta Hip Hop Hollywood, whatever. Jocelyn, use your birth control because he doesn't need a 6th kid. He can't even take care of the ones he has. Miss Catherine McPhee. Remember we were talking about her alleged affair with the director, Michael Morris, Catherine McPhee? We caught them kissing. Doesn't he look like Kelly Ripa's Gelman? Can you go back to, doesn't he look like, yeah. Anyway, that's Catherine McPhee. Well, the two were spotted kissing earlier this month in the parking lot, even though they're both married. Okay, well, she's separated from her husband, but he's married to the actress Mary McCormick, who played Howard Stern's wife in Private Parts, amongst other things, and they have 3 daughters together. And all the daughters are under 10. The youngest is 2 years old. And there he goes, tipping out. Well, now Michael has reportedly cut all ties with Catherine McPhee in an effort to get back together with Mary McCormick, because when Mary found out about this affair, alleged affair, or whatever kissation was going on in the parking lot, don't you just assume it's an affair if they're kissing? Yes. Do you find kissing more intimate than even doing the dirty? Yes. Me too. Like, if you're just gonna go into the smushing room, that involves no kissing at all, you know, because that's too intimate. But a kiss like that, you can't tell whether their eyes are closed, but their heads sure are tilted. Yeah. Anyway, Mary threw him out of the house, allegedly. And so now he has cut ties with Catherine. Catherine, sources are saying, thought that Michael loved her. See, isn't that how we get as women? Catherine, go home. Michael, go back to your wife and straighten up before your daughters think less of you. That's it for Hot Topics. Are you serious? Well, gee, we have a great show for you. This 13-year-old kid, he's a chef, and his name is Alexander Weiss, and he's here. And he's made it all the way to the top 4 on Gordon Ramsay's Master Chef Junior. And today he's gonna help us cook up a mouth-watering meal. But up next, everybody, from the hit show, Iyanla Fix My Life, Iyanla Vanzant is here. First guest is a New York Times best-selling author, and she's also the host of OWN's hit series, Iyanla Fix My Life, where she helps people, celebrities and regular people, put the pieces back together of their lives. Take a look.
You're a 40-year-old veteran athlete who doesn't have a team, with no vision about what to do next, 4 children who are looking up to you. Who'll be Terrell Owens?
I don't know yet. I don't know.
Good answer. What if your NFL career is over?
Please welcome back to our show, Iyanla Vanzant. Hi. It's nice to see you again.
Push it up, okay.
Okay, first of all, the word is that you don't like heels.
What?
So is this a special, is this
No, I like
I thought
heels.
you liked flats.
No, I like heels.
You look good.
Yeah, people think because you're spiritual, you know?
No, you look good, dare I say.
This is how spirituality looks.
Yes, you look terrific. And by the way, happy belated 60th birthday.
Thank you, right?
Yeah. What did Oprah give you?
I'm not telling you that.
Why?
she gave me the day off.
Oh, I'm sure there was
I had
more
the day
to it.
off, yeah.
So I love your Fix Your Life series. Let's talk about that clip that we just saw with Terrell Owens. Yeah. He looked very unprepared for life if football is done.
Yeah.
You
know what? He became a victim of his talent. People paid him for his talent, and he never mastered his craft of being a man. He never grew up. At the core, this was a fatherless son.
Now, I heard something about that father issue. His dad was the neighbor across the street?
Across the street. And never, ever, I can't tell you, you gotta watch the show to see it. I can't tell you why, but he lived across the street from his father and never knew that was his father
until he was obviously a Rolling Stone, you know?
Until he was 11. 11 years old. And then there was not a conversation. It was just, this is who he is.
Okay.
And so, you know, that issue of fatherless sons and the wounds that it creates in a child's soul.
Iyanla, he's a grown man now. And
He is.
you know, at some point, don't we all have to take responsibility? Because we
Absolutely.
all come from, you know, some sort of place of hurt.
He didn't have the tools. What he had was an NFL career and a big contract and a book deal. So the lesson here is money, fame, and fortune is not gonna fix you if you don't take care of your business.
Yeah.
You got to handle your business.
So is it different for you helping celebrities versus regular people?
Not at all. And that's why I do it. Because had I done a fatherless son from the Bronx, nobody would have watched.
Right.
But because people have this thing about celebrity and money,
Yes.
I was glad to do him because I want people to watch and
Yes.
to see. They're not immune.
Now, we'll talk about the celebrities because we know who they are. Do they take your advice and fix their lives?
Some of them do.
Or do they still spiral out of control?
You know, some of them do. The two requirements for my guests is that they're willing to tell it all and do the work and ready to change.
Yeah.
And some of them are and some of them aren't. I think you know which ones.
Well, DMX?
He wasn't ready.
I saw.
Wasn't ready. But the show, what I discovered, was really for his son. It was really about healing his son.
Yeah.
And he was just
Does
a tool.
the son stay in contact with you?
Yes, he's doing much better. Much better.
DMX, you know, he was angry at the way you portrayed him on the show. And I have a quote from
portrayed
him.
him.
Well, I have a quote here. It says, Iyanla set the whole thing up to make me look bad for ratings. That lady is toxic. Well,
Listen,
you know,
wait a minute. We are not scripted. That's number one.
Yeah.
I shot with him for 3 days, 2.5 days. He never left. He never left. He could have left at any time. And then when he did leave, he came back.
Yeah.
We don't stop our guests. We don't have security. They're not in chains. I don't put words in their mouth. There's no script at all. At any point, if he felt he was not being honored, he could have left, and he didn't.
Well, DMX is going to be here on our show next Tuesday. He'll be here for the whole hour, and he's going to perform Party Up, as well as sit on the couch.
Love it.
And it's not even about, you know, attempting to fix his life. I don't have those tools, but I've always liked him, and I just, you know.
He's a brilliant artist.
Yeah.
And as a grown man, like the rest of us, he gets to choose how he lives.
Yes.
They came to me. I didn't go looking for him.
So now, okay, he came to you. Did Evelyn Lozado come to you, or did you look for her?
What happened was she wrote a letter in the Huffington Post, and I responded to her about her letter.
Oh.
And
who was the letter to?
It was an open letter to her 5-year-old self.
Okay.
An open letter to her 5-year-old self. And we responded to that letter. And she has just done fabulously.
Yeah.
She really has made the shift, changed her life, doing some new stuff.
Did you advise her to quit Basketball Wives?
No, not at all. She's a grown woman.
Are you glad she quit? I am.
Well,
I mean, and I'll tell you why.
if it's good for her, I'm glad.
I mean, because she has a grown woman daughter who doesn't need to be seeing her mother beasting out on TV.
Right.
You know?
But she didn't beast out in this last season.
No,
you could see the shift, and it probably no longer fits who she is.
Yeah, well, she's not participating in the reunion, so, you know. Now, Chad Ochocinco, who she was married to, sent this tweet kissing the TV with Evelyn on it. Do you think that they will ever get back together? I mean, you had behind-the-scenes conversation with her. Does she really...
You know, she's a grown woman.
Yeah.
She can date who she want to date.
So
I
now,
don't have nothing to do with that.
Well, you know, Chris Brown is in rehab for anger management.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they obviously, and I believe that's a step in the right direction. What are your thoughts on Chris Brown?
What is he rehabbing? You know, re means to do again, and hab means the behavior. So rehab means to do again the behavior.
Yeah.
Which one?
I would imagine the behavior, you know.
The bad behavior?
Dialing it back to when he used to be nice, when he was the Doublemint kid, you know, on TV.
But what's the cause? And you can go to rehab all you want, just like if you were doing drugs or alcohol.
Yeah.
But if you don't get to the cause, and if you don't uproot the ugliness, it's gonna stay.
How's your life? Are you in love? What's your situation?
How's my life?
Yes.
My Lord, you don't mess around,
No,
huh?
you know, we've known each other for a while. Remember, you're the one who taught me it's okay to break up with girlfriends.
That's right.
And that was about 15 years ago.
You know, I am blessed and honored to say that I have a gorgeous, loving, supportive, healthy, beautiful black man.
Is he young? Is he younger or older?
Same age.
Same age.
Same age, but well fed.
Good,
well fed.
good.
And I keep him quiet because there's pieces and parts of my life that
Everybody doesn't need to know
they don't need to
everything.
know.
I got you. Well, I
And-
appreciate you sharing just that little tidbit.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see you
Yeah,
again.
thank you, Miss Wendy.
Oh, everybody, new episodes of Iyanla, Fix My Life, premieres Saturday night at 9 on OWN. Up next from MasterChef Junior, the kid chef Alexander Weiss is here. At only 13 years old, our next guest has made it all the way to the top 4 on this season's Gordon Ramsay's MasterChef Juniors. Please welcome all the way from Manhattan's Upper East Side. Say hello to Alexander Weiss. Hi, kid.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So, what's it like working with Gordon?
You know, I always pictured him to be a super scary guy, and you know, from watching him since I was 8 years old. But you know, he was really nice, surprisingly.
Yes.
But he has 4 kids of his own, so you know, he
yes.
understands.
Yes, he's got a father's touch. All right, so what are we making today? I see steak.
Yeah. So I'm making a spice rub ribeye steak because I hear you like spicy food.
I do.
So,
Thank you. All right. So, and then what is the sauce?
it's a chimichurri sauce.
Okay.
And then we're making some sweet potato chips.
And you're 13. You 13-year-olds need to step it up and help your mom around the house like this kid. Go ahead. Let's start. You cook, and I will conduct my conversation with you. Go ahead.
So this is just the chimichurri sauce. These are the ingredients. We have some freshly picked cilantro, flat leaf parsley, some fresh oregano, salt, pepper, cayenne, some garlic. We have some red wine vinegar and olive oil. And you mix that all up in a food processor.
I like the sauce. It's very delicious.
Thank you.
All right, let's get going.
All right, so we have a ribeye steak here.
Yeah, start ribbon and iron.
Yep.
All right, you just keep going, and I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions because I'm curious. So, MasterChef, the kids edition, is out there in LA. So now, if you're 13, like my son, you're in 8th grade.
Yes.
Now, are you being homeschooled? Because you've missed now the whole first half of the school year. How are you possibly going to make up the homework?
Am I supposed to?
Yes, if you want to graduate.
Okay, I'll think about
Or
it.
you can keep cooking and you know, go to culinary school. Do you want to be a cook when you grow up?
Yeah, I want to be a cook when I grow up. Hopefully have my own restaurant.
Chef, I mean.
Yeah,
A
a
cook
chef.
is somebody who is what is a short order, not quite as trained, and a chef is somebody a little bit more
Yeah,
I
like
guess,
Gordon.
sophisticated in what they cook.
Right.
Now, how did you get started and interested in cooking? Does your mom cook? Do you cook at home? How did you get started in this interest?
Well, when I was little, I would bake with my mom, and and as I got older, my dad would start teaching me how
Pop it in.
to.
Oh.
Okay.
I feel so under the pressure. You're talking, I'm loving talking to you. Doug, my floor manager, is holding up gang signs and telling me to move along. The audience is laughing. I'm hungry. Is this turned up high enough?
Yeah, this is gonna cook for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side, maybe a little bit longer.
Oh, it's gonna be red and juicy inside.
Well, I heard that you like yours a bit more
I am an
medium.
animal. I know I like a little blood. I cut my meat, I want to see the blood drip.
Oh.
Yes, I'm that girl. All right, so let's move along while the steak is cooking.
Right.
Let's talk about the sweet potato fries. Now, you already peeled the sweet potatoes?
Yeah, so I just sliced them on a mandolin. All I did was just take it and slide a few like this.
Yes.
Make sure not to cut your fingers, and then they come out looking like this.
That's terrific, okay, and then we drop them in.
Yep.
Tell me the process. Don't you love sweet potato chips and sweet potato fries and stuff? I love them.
Yeah, they're really good.
So now you've got some oil in the fryer.
Right,
And
so
you're
we're
gonna
just gonna drop them. And since we sliced them pretty thin, they're not gonna cook for so long.
Yes.
Probably about a minute or two.
And they come out and they're
Yep.
very good.
Season them with salt and pepper right when they
They're
come
really good.
out. Thank you.
All right. And what's for dessert, kid?
For dessert, since it's the season of fall and, you know, a lot of people go apple picking about this time, I decided to make an apple spice cupcake.
Okay.
With a vanilla mascarpone frosting.
This cupcake is so heavy.
What?
I mean, it's heavy in weight.
Okay. I'm gonna have one with you.
With mascarpone, you said?
Yeah.
What's that?
Mascarpone is like an Italian kind of creamy, lighter cream cheese.
It's very good.
Thank you.
Well, listen, I want to thank you for being here. It was wonderful having conversation with you.
Well, thanks for
And good
having
luck
me.
on the show. You guys make sure that you watch part 1 of the season finale of MasterChef Junior tonight at 8 on Fox. Ask Wendy is next. Welcome back, everyone. It's time for Ask Wendy. Right here.
Hi, Wendy.
Have a seat, everybody. How you doing, young lady?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How can I help?
My name is Emma, and I've been with my boyfriend for about 5 years. He's amazing, but he works crazy hours, about 18 hours a day. So my question is, when he does have time off, how can I encourage him to be a little bit more spontaneous and outgoing?
How long have you been with him?
About 5 years.
So you know him well enough. You plan the activity. I mean,
Pretty much.
you plan it. It won't be spontaneous to you, but you have it all organized. If he works 18 hours a day, chances are he wants to sleep the other
pretty
other
much.
hours. So nothing too strenuous like bungee jumping, but you plan the activities, okay?
Okay, perfect. Thank you
Good
so
for
much.
you. You're very welcome. Oh.
Hi, Wendy.
I see you knew where you were coming, Disco
Yes,
Ball.
I did. How are you? My name is Danielle. How you doing?
Hi, Danielle.
I have a 10-year-old son, and I was checking his backpack the other day, and I noticed his reading log. And on the reading log, he forced his grandmother's signature because he hates to read.
Okay, a reading log is something that the kids have to show. They have to read a certain amount of
every
books,
day.
and they have to have it signed.
Yeah.
Do you believe in beatdowns?
Yes.
Because I would beat him down, number one. Because he's forging a reading log today, your checkbook tomorrow.
Exactly.
You know?
That's what I was thinking.
But wow, how talented at 10. I mean, between me and you, how'd the signature look? Exact?
No.
Oh, poor thing. No, I would beat him down.
Right.
And I would also punish him. And I would take away his phone and his tablet or whatever it is for a week.
Okay.
And I would talk to him about this because, little inkling of sneaky, and we all did it when we were younger.
Right.
I shared with you, I shoplifted, one time. These little inklings, if you don't nip them in the bud, you're gonna have a full-blown problem on your hands when he gets older,
Right.
you know?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you,
Good luck,
Wendy.
Mom.
All right.
Oh, we have time for another. Hi, how you doing?
Hi, Wendy. My name is Nadal. How you doing?
Hi, Nadal.
Hi.
Prenatal.
I have 4 children, ages 22, 18, 16, and 9. And I've been
you.
dating my boyfriend for 4 months.
Okay.
And I was thinking about him meeting my children. What do you think about me inviting him over for Thanksgiving dinner?
No, that's too much pressure.
Really?
Well, with the 9-year-old, the
Yes.
22-year-old might understand because that's a man or,
Man,
girl.
yes.
Yeah, but the 9-year-old, no, not so
No.
much. And when you finally do introduce, don't have it be a formal holiday where there's pressure.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Very
got you.
well. Good luck,
Thank
Nadal.
you.
Everybody, we're gonna take a quick break. But what would you do if your ex-boyfriend's best friend keeps asking you out? I've got a solution next with more Ask Wendy. We're back. And we're doing more Ask Wendy. Before the break, I said, what would you do if your ex-boyfriend's best friend keeps asking you out on a date?
Yes.
Sing
Hi,
it,
Wendy.
sister.
My name is Jewel. How you doing?
How you doing, Jewel?
Well, my ex-boyfriend and I broke up about 2 years ago, and I recently ran into his best friend at a party. His friend asked me out on a date. I said no. And then he hit me up on Facebook and asked me out again.
Okay.
So my question is, should I tell my ex-boyfriend that he's hitting me up because they're best friends?
Well, here's the thing. The mark of womanhood is when you don't have to call for backup, when you can handle your own handle. And I would say to you to tell him, the best friend, the next time, if he doesn't stop playing around, you are gonna call your ex-boyfriend, okay?
Yeah.
But right now, just handle it on your own.
Okay.
Is he cute?
Yes.
He
is.
But he's
He's
off
still-
limits.
right.
He's off
I wouldn't do
limits.
it.
Good girl. All right, so tell him, stop, or you're gonna tell the ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Wendy.
Very well. All right, we have time for another one. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Good. My name is Casey. My boyfriend and I have been together for 2 years.
Okay.
He's very happy in the suburbs. We live in Denver. I've always been a city girl, and I want to move to New York, but he does not want to move here. So how do I get him to move here, us both compromise, and both be happy?
How old are you?
24.
Move. Leave him in. You love our city.
Yes.
You want to move here. You are only 24 years old. You've got a lot more frogs to kiss and experiences to have before you settle down with just one. I do respect the love that you have, but I would not let your dream be stopped right now at your age by some man. Not now. It's not time. Okay? So welcome to New York. And apparently you're single. Or in a long-distance relationship. Keep it here, everybody. Up next, we're going to reveal our audience eye candy of the day. Don't miss it. Yeah. Welcome back. I am standing with Jennifer Ford out of Philadelphia, and she's my eye candy of the day. I love your look.
Thank you.
I mean, the top knot is so fashionable. The red lipstick compliments you so well.
Thank you.
Tell about your sweater and the rest of your outfit.
Okay, so my sweater is from Forever 21. It was about $20, and my pants are also from Forever 21, about $26, $27.
Yes.
My shoes are Guess. They were a little bit over $100.
Yes.
And my lipstick is Ruby Woo from MAC, and that's about it.
Good for you. Jennifer Ford from Philly, everybody. Thanks, Jennifer, for being here. And everybody, we'll be right back. Good one. I had such a great time today. Iyanla Vanzant, always nice to hear from you and see you. Our 13-year-old chef friend, Alexander Weiss, good luck. And my co-host, my studio audience, thank you for your encouragement. On Monday, we've got a full hour of juicy hot topics. I love you for watching today. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time on Wendy. Bye.